Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life and Rachel. We are back.
Hi.
For another Talkback with The Blind Life. We're just going to say this is October. Talkback with The Blind Life, October edition. If you're new to this is where we sit down and we kind of go over some frequently asked questions in previous videos, comments, the previous month's videos.
Yeah. We were really late on last month's Talkback, so we've only got 3 videos on here, and one of them's only been up
a couple hours.
So
we don't have that many, but a couple things here at the beginning. I want to thank everybody that just joined me for the monthly members-only Zoom call. We had a great call. I just got off of it a few minutes ago. Had a really great turnout. Had some new people join us. So thank you guys so much. If you would like to join us for our monthly members-only Zoom call, it's done the first Saturday of every single month. You can do that. You just have to be a member. So check out the description. There's information down there. There's a link to become a member. You can also go to the membership page or tab on my YouTube channel page. And I really appreciate all the support. Members get to do that. They get some extra things also. So you can do that. You can join us. It's a lot of fun. Also want to talk about just the other social media things. We're on TikTok now. The Blind Life is on TikTok. I'm trying to put up TikTok videos in between the YouTube videos. So if you're looking for more content, definitely join me there. You can just search The Blind Life on TikTok and find it that way.
We also suggest you search the hashtag Blind Talk.
Yes.
TOK, like TikTok Blind Talk.
Yeah, all one word.
All one word, BLINDTOK. There's a lot of great content on there.
Yeah, a lot. There's a really big community on TikTok, visually impaired community.
Yeah.
Something else. In the video that we did in this location before, a lot of people were asking about this clock here to my left. That is just a Google, well, it used to be called the Google Home Hub. Now they're called Google Nest Home Hubs, I believe, or Google Nest Home. This is just a 5-inch one. We've had it for years, and you can do a large digital clock on that one. So that's what that is. Also, we're going to be doing a giveaway in this video. We're doing a contest. More about that at the end.
Okay.
So we'll wait till the end to do that. And if I do get this video out today, which is not likely, we're doing a live stream tomorrow. So join us for that.
Which tomorrow is Sunday, October 3rd.
Yeah.
But the chance of getting this up today are pretty slim. We've got
other things going on. If I'm feeling ambitious, I might try to do it if I don't mess up too much. So, okay.
Okay, so the first video that we're going to answer questions from is from the last Talkback video, which I think we called the September Talkback video.
Yes.
Okay, so first comment is from Bear Bull Cruising. Said, great video, Sam. Thanks. I'm definitely looking forward to your trip out to the West Coast. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm visually impaired and losing my eyesight in my right eye. Hopefully it will stabilize, but I have no sight in my left eye, and before my eyesight was starting to deteriorate, I definitely did a lot of traveling via Amtrak and air, but I'm becoming more hesitant. It's a to travel now, even though we have an upcoming Amtrak trip to Reno, and I have a cruise next year to Ensenada, Mexico. So I would just like to see and give your perspective on travel as well as others. Thanks.
Yeah, first of all, that's awesome. That's a lot of cool places and a cruise, and so congratulations on that. Yeah, I did a video, I think it was just titled Independent Travel for the Visually Impaired or Independent Travel for the Blind, something like that, where I talked about all my little tricks that I do. And, well, as with everything, all my videos, these are just things, my experiences. So there's probably other things that people use. The biggest one though is to not be afraid to ask for help. Some people, we're all independent people. We want to try and do things ourselves, which is great. But in that situation, for me, it's just easier. It's just more convenient. It lowers the stress. There's always so much stress for traveling, especially I'm usually traveling by myself. So if I can just ask somebody there to show me where my gate is, it makes it so much easier. But I always take my cane. I always use my cane in airports. We don't have trains around here that we go to, but I'm assuming it's going to be the same.
It's a decent haul to get to an Amtrak station.
Yeah. When I was in New York, 2019, we did the train stations, and it was basically the same thing. But I request help and let them guide me where we need to go. It's just so much easier and faster.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid about it. I also did a video on how to identify your luggage. If you're checking bags, I talked about marking them somehow, for low vision. There's all kinds of beepers that you can put into your bag and trigger it with an app, and it'll beep as it's coming around, and so you'll know which bag is yours. I mean, there are lots of ways to I guess, solve those problems that you might run into. Mm-hmm. So it should never be. I like to encourage people to get out there and live their best blind lives. That's what we always say. So go for it.
Okay, Melissa's Legally Blind World asked. She said, "This is awesome, Sam. I like your Talkback series. I wonder how accessible is TikTok."
So TikTok is actually fairly accessible now that I've gotten in there and looked at it and investigated. I always, from the outside, thought, well, how is it accessible? It's vertical video, which for me, I use my magnifier to watch video on YouTube, and I have a harder time with vertical video. But as far as the controls, the buttons, and all of that, it is rather accessible. Different platforms are going to be different. Android versus iOS. iOS tends to work better with the voiceover. But as far as the community on there, there's a ton of blind people on there, so it has to be accessible.
Yeah.
I'm coming at it as a low vision user. I don't use the screen reader with the app that much. I'm more using my magnification. And the text is tiny, and that does drive me crazy.
It drives me crazy, and I am not visually impaired. I mean, I am getting to the age that I need bifocals probably, and that's probably part of my problem. But yeah, I think the biggest issue. So there's text at the bottom, like what someone types in. That's like the title or the hashtags and all that. But there's also a lot of times people put text on their videos. And I'm guessing a screen reader would not read that.
No.
Because it's in the video. And sometimes those can be difficult. My assumption is that if you're mainly seeking out blind TikTokers, you're not going to run into nearly as much of that. I'll be honest, there are some people that do such a poor job with their stuff. I just skip right over them. I don't watch them, and I'm not visually impaired because I just am like, I'm not going to fight to be able to watch your TikTok video.
Yeah, because they'll put stuff overlap over the video, and
yeah. So I think that if you're looking, if you find the right people and you follow the right channels, you're not going to run into nearly as much of that, because a lot of it is really just a video with audio. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, TikTok has a built-in screen reader. You can put text on your video, and you can set it to be a script to read out loud, which some people do. A lot of people in the blind community do that. If they put text, if they don't want to talk in their video, the average user will just put text, and the viewer has to read it, and that's what Rachel's talking about. But the blind community, they'll put text in it, and they'll have it read out loud to you, which is great.
Okay. Lady Blind Wolf said, I may need to subscribe to your channel, but I was just curious, do you ever do a spot every so often where you basically do shout outs towards other blind creators? And I saw you commented on that and said maybe you should start doing that on these talkback videos. So do you want to mention a blind creator or two that you think does a good job that you'd think other people should check out?
Put me on the spot. I've done that before. Well, Through the Eyes of Abby. It was fantastic, and Owen, Outdoors with Owen, they're the younger YouTubers.
Kids.
Yeah, and so I'm always happy to help promote them. Just off the top of my head, though, there's a guy, Aaron's Opinion is the name of the channel. He was on the Zoom call earlier today, so I'll give him a shout out in this video.
Okay. Okay. Rosie, so in the last Talkback, you must have talked about naming your cane.
Yeah, I did.
Because some people commented on that.
A lot of great names.
But Rosie and Mocha said, my first cane was actually named Sam, believe it or not.
Yeah, there were some great names. I forget the name, but it was a cane fu, because he's a cane fu master. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Someone else in this video said they named their cane Erica because they're a big soap opera fan, and Erica Kane from All My Children.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. Yeah, if you didn't see that, my cane, the name of my cane is Moses, because when I'm using my cane, it parts the sea. The sea of people, they just part in front of me, and I love that.
Someone did ask if you could tell them your email address. They couldn't understand it in the video, which you did in there, but just in case, do you want to tell people what your email address is?
Yeah, if you need to get a hold of me, it's sam@theblindlife.net. My website is theblindlife.net, N-E-T, and so the email is sam@theblindlife.net. On that topic, I get a lot of emails, so if I don't respond right away, just have some patience. Sometimes it's like a week later I finally get back to people. I apologize.
Yeah, but email is the best way.
Email is the best way because I check that almost every day. I'm not great about answering messages on like Facebook or
Instagram
or anything like that.
Yeah.
Email is the best.
Okay, I think that was it for that video.
All right.
The first video was about the BEP program. I can't remember the exact title of the video. I didn't write it down, but
yeah.
Sam talked to our brother-in-law, Danny, and nephew, Aaron, who is his assistant. And Danny works with the BEP program in Alabama. That's the Business Enterprise Program.
Business Enterprise Program.
With vending machines.
Yeah, Randolph-Shepard Program is what it might be. It's more commonly known as.
Does it have different names in different states?
It does, yeah.
Okay, that makes it hard to research if your state has it or not.
But it's all Randolph-Shepard. Randolph-Shepard Act, and this is the Randolph-Shepard Program.
Oh, okay. So no matter what state you're in, if you looked up Randolph-Shepard Program or something, you would probably find it.
Yes.
Okay. But in Alabama, it's called the Business Enterprise Program.
I'm not looking at the camera. Go ahead.
That's all right. That's kind of, you're blind.
There it is. All right.
Okay. So the first question was I'm from Walter White Walker, and he said, I might have missed this, but does he have to buy or rent the machines, or are they owned by the program? And Sam's sister Tawny actually responded in the video for that, but basically, no, he doesn't have to own the machines. Yeah,
this is a good comment to mention here, because that might be something other people were wondering, and that's not something we touched on in the video, and I totally should have. I'm a terrible interviewer. I should have asked them that question. But no, you get your machines as part of the program. You don't have to purchase them.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Aaron's opinion commented, which we just actually touched on this, but he said, this is a very well done video as always. Then he said, by the way, I'm looking forward to our next Zoom meeting. When is the next meeting? And he was on the meeting just a few minutes ago. So thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, it was great to talk to him for, an hour or so.
Okay, so the next one was for the
Scan Jig.
Scan Jig, yes.
Scan Jig, which ended up being a popular video.
Yeah.
A lot of people liked that one.
Yeah, I got several comments to read from there because there were quite a few comments on it. Yeah,
so real quickly, Scan Jig, if you didn't see it, it's a product. I called it a device in the video, but it's not really a device. It's just it's made out of plastic, and you assemble it or unfold it, and it basically holds your phone or your tablet and a piece of paper or a magazine or whatever you want to scan with an OCR app on your phone to then be read out loud. And it's just an easier way to scan text.
So it lines it up for you.
Lines it up perfectly, right angle and everything, yeah.
Okay. Here's a comment from Tacy Halsey. She said, Sam, I just took my Scan Jig out after not using it for maybe a couple of years and had some trouble with using it very much without needing more instruction. I thought, wow, maybe there's a video on how you use a Scan Jig and let it go for a day or two. And then 2 days later, I caught up with my blind life videos, and here it is, you showing everybody how to use a scan jig. Just 2 days after I was struggling with it. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, my pleasure. I knew it was kind of an older product that's been around for a while, and like I said in the video, it's just something I haven't gotten my hands on yet. So I figured I'd make that video, but it's one of those things. It's like it's a simple solution to this problem. If anybody's ever tried to scan something and hold it at the same time, hold the phone and hold the document or the paper, and you know, if you're like me, you're getting older and you're shaking more than you used to. Yeah. Makes it tough.
I struggle. I wonder if that would be helpful for doing electronic check deposits, where you have to take a picture of the check with your phone.
It definitely would.
That's not always easy to do, so that would probably be helpful. Okay, Nathan Smith, who was also just on the members only discussion, said, "Thanks, Sam. This seems very practical and very useful. As I was watching you set it up, I was expecting something really complex and advanced. I really like the low-tech stuff."
Yeah. Once again, it doesn't need to be. You don't need to overthink it. Over design the wheel or whatever. It works.
This is Rupesh K. Said, "Sam, I have a request. The technology for blind is largely available in the U.S. Is there any way you can provide access to those devices to people like me?" He does not say where he lives.
Yeah.
Based on his name, I'm thinking maybe India, but I don't know that for sure. And said, include shipping costs. And I know you personally cannot do that. But do you know, I chose this question because I was curious. Do any of the distributors in the U.S., will they provide some of these devices to people in other countries if the other person pays shipping?
I don't know about specific distributors. I have a good friend who's a distributor. That's something I can look into if that's something that they do. But I know a lot of the companies have, the bigger ones at least, do have offices or at least provide these products in other countries. I know Orcam has an Indian office or distribution network set up in India, but that is a big issue, and I do talk to distributors, especially when I'm working with a company that's starting out new and they're bringing a product to market. I always ask them about international markets because I hear that all the time, especially from India. A lot of people talking about these things aren't available, and it's really, really unfortunate. Just know that I'm doing as much as I can. I'm just one little person here, I don't have as much pull as people might think.
Yeah. And unfortunately, as far as like you personally providing that service, we just don't have the resources, time, space,
I'm
all
really
of that
sorry
to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We just can't. But
I am doing my part in my own little way to try and help with this.
Yeah, it definitely should. It's something that in the future, when you're talking to different distributors, it might be a good question to ask them. So for future reference.
Yeah, and also, whenever I do a product video, I always put the contact information. So I get this kind of question a lot too. Can it be sent to this country? Is it available in this country? And it's usually someone sends me an email with that question. So I would say, instead of sending me the email, just send it directly to the manufacturer. Ask them if it's available, because they're going to know more than I do.
Yeah.
In fact, this is something I mentioned in my most recent video about the blind shelf phone, which I know we're going to talk about here in a minute. But I don't know if these things are available in these other countries. So send the email to them.
Yeah. Not to mention, if it's not currently available in your country and they get 10, 12, 15 emails from people in your country asking about the product, that's gonna get their attention.
Yeah, encourage them.
Yeah. Whereas reaching out to Sam, he doesn't have that kind of sway with those companies. So I think it's always a good idea to reach out to either a distributor or the manufacturer or whatever and ask those questions, because unfortunately you may not get what you want, but hopefully it will at least get that thought in the back of their head for the future. This this comment was on this video. It really doesn't have anything to do with this video. Well, it does a little bit, I guess. But someone said, please make a video on the best OCR apps. And my assumption is, I don't know if you have a video that is the best OCR apps, but my assumption is you have videos on most of the OCR apps.
I do, and I don't tend to do comparison videos very often. Pitting one product against another similar product, or in this case, apps against apps. It's more, I feature the app and let you guys make the decision if it's going to be the right one for you. Yes, I have done videos on just about every OCR app available, just not a video comparing them.
Yeah. So would you want to just do a quick rundown off the top of your head of what, like, the most commonly used OCR apps that you think are pretty widely accepted?
They're all very similar. I mean, very closely similar as far as how well they work. So, like, Seeing AI is a great app. I have done a comparison between Seeing AI and K&F Reader, actually, now that I think about it. And K&F Reader, in my very scientific comparison, came out on top because it was an offline. You don't need to be connected to the internet for it to work. Whereas Seeing AI, you did at the time. I think you still do. But that's another thing. Seeing AI works on iOS but doesn't work on Android. So it's hard to compare those Seeing AI with some other Android options. K&F Reader works well, but it's a very expensive app. Seeing AI works well. InVision works well. SuperSense works well. Those two are paid apps. The new one on Android, Audible Vision, it's free right now, and it was super fast. I was crazy impressed with how quickly it worked, as far as you touch the screen and it starts reading instantly. But it doesn't have a lot of the controls that some of the other apps do, but it's still in beta. So, it's kind of hard to compare these things.
Yeah, well, and especially because different people want different things.
Yeah.
So what's best to you, someone else may be like, oh no, this one's so much better, because they're looking to accomplish something else, or different features are more important to them.
Yeah.
Or you still have some usable vision, so how the controls are set up might be different for you than for someone that doesn't have any vision.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Versus, using it with a screen reader might not be the same as using it without a screen reader, or not as easy, or there's a lot of different factors.
Yeah. Okay. So the last video, which just came out this morning, so there's not a lot of questions on it yet. Maybe we'll add it onto the next Talkback as well, if there are more.
If anything else comes out of it.
Yeah. So this was the Blind Shell Classic 2, which...
Yeah, new Blind Shell. I did a video about the original Blind Shell Classic phone. It's an accessible phone, and a very popular accessible phone in many different countries. I even, full transparency, I even worked with the company for about 1.5 years back in 2019 and 2020. But they just came out with the newest version, the Blind Shell Classic Part 2, and that's what this video is about.
Yep. So Perfect Relaxation said, do they have the option to change the voice on the phone, or is there only one voice available right now?
Yeah, and this was a comment from another person also asking about the voice. They weren't crazy about the voice. Yes, so I would recommend I didn't show all the different aspects of the phone and the user interface. That's because a lot of it hasn't changed from the previous model, which I already did that video. So I would recommend going back and watching that other video. I linked it in the description, also in the card that pops out. But it uses Google's text-to-speech engine, so it has all the voices that Google does. So there's several different male voices, several different female voices, and even languages. I'm not sure if I put in the comment, someone was asking about Spanish, or I think it was Spanish. But it has like 16 different languages that it has as well.
Yeah, because it's used in European countries. I think it's actually, I don't know about the Classic 2 yet, but like Blind Shell in general is a little more popular in Europe. It hasn't taken off as much in the US.
Right, yeah, it's sold in 23 different countries. So it's got a lot of different languages available.
Yeah. Okay, Terry Sutherland said, wow, that's like a totally different phone. They should have called something entirely different, like the Blind Shell Next Generation or New Coke or something. What carriers will this phone use?
Yeah, Terry's hilarious. Right now, currently, it's in the U.S. here. It's only working. The newer version is only working on T-Mobile, so it is a T-Mobile phone.
Okay. Do you any idea when or if that will change?
No, I don't. I haven't heard. I haven't.
Since you're not working there anymore, you don't have as much.
Yeah, I'm not up to
information.
date on the current status of that, but it is. I tested it on T-Mobile and it does work.
Okay.
And this is something else I mentioned in the video, that I tested it, but it worked great in my area. As far as it's going to work in Sacramento, California, I have no idea. There's no reason for me not to think it would, or not to think that it wouldn't work well, or to think that it wouldn't work well. But I have no idea.
Okay. And then Paul Cresswell said 440, and then I am such an American. I don't know.
Euros.
Was that euros? Okay.
Yeah.
449 euros. That would be by a lot more capable smartphone.
Yes, and I wanted to highlight this one because, yes, you're absolutely right. It would buy a much more capable smartphone. It would buy a great computer. But that's not who this phone is geared towards. The Blind Shell Classic 2 and the Blind Shell Classic, and they also have the Blind Shell Lite. These phones are geared towards people who are or who don't want to deal with smartphones. They don't want to deal with it just for the they don't want to have to learn all that, or they can't learn all that. They're not as tech savvy. These phones are great for the senior market, so grandmom and granddad who never had a smartphone, they came from a flip phone, but they still need an accessible phone. That's who these phones are geared towards. So if somebody wants a smartphone or can use a smartphone, this phone isn't going to be, they're not going to be happy with this phone.
Yeah, this is not the phone they're going to want.
It's a feature phone that has a lot of smartphone features. With the Blind Shell Classic 2, they have upped the game and added in apps that you can download apps now, and you can
any app or just apps that like specific apps.
Download just the apps that they will put into their app catalog, which is kind of like their app store.
Okay.
But it does have an internet browser, so you can go on to like Facebook, you can go on to these websites, but it uses the Blind Shell reader, which is their screen reader, to make these websites accessible.
Okay.
So it's got voice control. It's got a lot of smartphone features. It's got YouTube. It's got WhatsApp. It's got all these things. Facebook Messenger. But it's still not a full-fledged smartphone. So if you're wanting a full-fledged smartphone, it's not the right option for you. It's not the right phone for you.
I'm sorry, I have not, full disclosure, I haven't watched this video yet, but it did just come out a couple hours ago. Yeah. Does this have a touchscreen or does it have tactile buttons?
No, it's very similar design to the previous phone. So it has it has physical keypad, no touchscreen.
Okay. Which is another reason why some people would prefer this, because some people, for either mobility or whatever, they need a tactile physical button rather than a touch screen.
Yeah, maybe they have some shakes
tremors
and they can't they can't do a touch screen, but they can actually hold on to a physical phone and push buttons. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a good option for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was that. Were there any more questions about the Blind Shell?
Nope, that was the last one.
Yeah, I think I didn't mention the T-Mobile in the video, which is something I should have mentioned. I apologize for that. So I definitely wanted to mention that here.
You might want to put that in the comments, or not the comments, but the description of the video.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of important.
It is, and that's the other thing. Is like someone else mentioned. There was another comment about something that I didn't mention in the video, and I don't recall what the comment was, but I don't go over every single aspect. If I did, it would be a way longer. In fact, that video, the first edit of the video, was like a 35-minute video, or close to 30-minute video, and I got it down to 17 minutes by cutting out a lot of the extra stuff that wasn't super essential. So there's no way for me to go over every single aspect. It was more of just hitting the highlights. Yeah. The T-Mobile is something that I should have put in there, though.
Yeah. And, any of these products that Sam does a demo of on his channel, if you're feel like he didn't hit some of the information that you would like, go to the manufacturer website. I'm sure Blind Shell has a lot of those questions answered on their website, as most would, or if they don't, they have a email or a phone number or something that you can contact the manufacturer and get those questions answered. Yeah.
Specifically Blind Shell, I know because I work with them. They have a whole FAQ section on their website, so I'm sure that stuff is answered.
Yeah.
So.
All right, are we going to give something away?
Yes. Okay, so that was, thank you very much, everybody who left comments and all of that. So this is the EZ2C Daily Planner and Calendar. I made a video about this specific one, the 2020-2021 version, a couple months ago. Edward, who creates these, it's just one guy making these things. So it is a full, I'll put pictures on the screen too. It is a full daily planner, large print calendar. Nice big, high contrast, really well done. Spiral bound, plastic or like laminated covers. There's information in here for like who this belongs to. You can put it in. There's a full calendar
with holidays listed.
Holidays are listed. At the very back, there's high contrast, bold lined paper for taking notes and things like this. It's just really well done. So we are giving away 2 of these. This is the 2021 version. Obviously, we're not giving you that. The 2022s are coming out very soon. They may even be already shipping, getting ready for next year. So that's what we're giving away, is 2 copies of the 2022 daily, weekly daily planner calendar. And we're also giving away to those winners high contrast Post-its. I have to cover my eyes so the autofocus will click on this. These are regular Post-its, Post-it notes, just like you would see, yellow, but they have a really bold, high contrast black outline to each one. So if this is sitting on something, it jumps out at you much easier. And when you're writing on this, I don't know if anybody can relate. I've done it so many times. Writing on a Post-it, especially if you're like on a wooden desk or something. At work, I have my desk is wooden, and the desk is kind of a blonde color wood. And so I will oftentimes write right off of the Post-it because there's not enough contrast of the edge of the Post-it. So that's what these do with that black outline. So we're giving away 2 of these to 2 winners. And to enter, I'm thinking this is a fast contest. When this video goes live, the first 2 people to comment on the video, what should we have them say? Not just a comment, but have them do something like guess my birthday. This October is my birthday month.
Do you want to give out your birthday?
Yeah, I don't care. It's out there. If people want to do if they want to kind of get a little bit of a advantage, they can find my birthday.
And you don't have to guess it correctly,
no.
Right? They just have to guess it.
The birth date, the day. My October birthday, but what day is it?
Okay, do they have to guess it correctly to win, or they just have to guess
Yeah, we'll say the first 2 people to guess the correct day.
Okay.
In the comments to this video.
The comments on YouTube. So if this video gets shared on Facebook or something,
you got to go to YouTube.
You got to go to YouTube. Comment on YouTube because you're not going to see it elsewhere.
Yeah. First 2 to get that, I will reach out to you through YouTube. I'll reply to the comment and let you know that you're a winner, and send me an email. I'll put that in the reply that you'll send me an email with your contact information, and I will send that, a lot of back and forth, I'll send that to Edward, and he is going to send these out to you guys.
So they're going to come directly from the
the manufacturer, distributor, whoever it is. But these aren't expensive, guys. I don't know how much they are. Maybe, does it have a price on the back somewhere?
No, it does not.
No, but
they're well worth the price that they're sold for.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean,
I can't imagine they're more than like 20 bucks or, you know, they're probably around that price. Like I said, if you are someone that likes to write down appointments and things like that, these are fantastic. High contrast, large print. So even if you don't win the contest, I recommend you guys go out and pick up one of these. They're sold through, I'll have links to where you can buy them in the description of this video. Not sponsored. Edward's not, you know, I'm not getting any kind of compensation for doing this shout out. So yeah, the EZ2C weekly planner calendar.
Number 2, numeral 2.
Yeah, number 2 CSEE. So thank you guys.
Hey, I think I may have come up with an idea. You'll have to tell me if it's a good one or not. We like to have a topic when we do the live streams, so that sometimes we go completely off topic because people have things to talk about and we just go with the flow. But if we have a topic, it keeps it from like just everyone sitting there.
Yeah, dead air.
Dead air, yeah. But so it's beginning of October. It's fall, which I think both Sam and I, it's kind of our favorite season. And fall, I always think of like food. I like fall foods, like chili and stews and stuff. So I was thinking, what if we talk about like kitchen tips, cooking, low vision hacks.
Oh yeah.
With cooking and kitchen stuff.
Okay.
Everyone has to eat. It's pretty universal, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good assumption that everyone does eat. So you're not supposed to assume, but I think that one we can. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So that's what the live stream will be about.
Yeah. If this makes it out tomorrow. If it doesn't, this probably won't be in the video.
Or that's what the live stream was about.
Yes.
Depending on when this gets out. Okay, cool. Sound good? Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Rachel, for helping with this as always. If you guys have any questions, comments, all of that, of course, leave those down below. If you like the video, you like what we're doing here on The Blind Life, hit the like button, share it with your family and friends, all of that. Subscribe if you aren't already subscribed to the channel. All of that helps out help to appease the great YouTube algorithm gods, and they shine favorably upon the channel. So that's it, guys. Happy October. We will see you in November. Bye.